most important thing in your life, in organization life, in project life, the only constant thing in our life, the only thing which is inevitable is a change. Change will happen, change will come, you will be bombarded with the change. The only thing that will make sure that change is are good are based on how do you deal with it, and that is where perform integrated change control comes in as part of the integration. So you may have a change request because of the performance, you may have a change request because of the execution, you may have a change request because from the stakeholder, from your team, from anybody, but how you are going to make sure that what you are going to make sure is that it remains integrated. If there is a change comes here, you take the impact throughout, you analyze the impact throughout the project and make sure that wherever it is impacting, you put up the report clearly, factually, fairly in front of the steering committee, and then they take the decision. I say that as a project manager, we are lawyers. We are either for the change or we are either against the change, because we will be fighting the case in front of the steering committee, in front of the PMO, in front of the stakeholder, in front of the sponsor, that yes, that this need make our life better or difficult, we need this change or we don't need this change. So we are a lawyer, we are either for the change or against the change. The point is very simple, whatever be the reason, whether we want the change within a project or we don't want a change within a project, we should have a fair, unbiased impact analysis provided and given to the management so that they can decide. The objective of this process is to ensure that only approved changes are incorporated in a revised baseline and implemented in the project. Whenever the change will be initiated, it will go into the impact analysis, it will go into the approval cycle, and then if it is being agreed and approved and if baseline needs to be revised, please only do so. It is achieved through reviewing all change requests, approving and managing them, managing changes to deliverables, organizational process assets, project document or project management plan. Anything could require a change. You need to be on top of the change. Make sure that you don't miss the change. And very, very important is you need to influence that the changes do not come. The more the changes, it means the bad the planning and the requirement analysis and gathering your team has done. So it is very important that you identify the reason for changes and try to influence it. The key focus of change control is to measure the impact of the change on all project limitations and timelines. Changes to any part of the project may be requested during the course of the project, especially during the project execution and monitoring and controlling phase. Change request is formal proposal to modify any project document, deliverable or baseline. That is something we have already discussed. There are 14 processes that could generate change requests, that will generate change requests as part of the PMI processes. Perform integrated change control is the only area where the change requests will come for analysis and a decision, and you will make sure whether you approve it or you don't approve it, or they will become part of an execution or they won't become part of the baseline and you will not revise it. Change requests can include many things like project schedule, cost, scope, change requests in terms of vendor, change requests in terms of asset, change requests in terms of corrective and preventive actions, defect repairs, change requests in terms of project policies and procedures. It is not extensive, but change can come from anywhere. It is inevitable. It's the only constant thing will happen. It is that you will be bombarded with the change here and there. So most important of any project is changes are not going to go anywhere. Control and manage them properly. That will give you a success. That will give you a control over the project. The perform integrated change control following activities: identifying the change needs, influencing, very important. We need to influence, we need to identify the stakeholders because of which changes are coming very often. So we might need to go back and do a reanalysis or requirement gathering once and for all, so that he does not come again and then take all his requirement and go back. We might need to see if the changes are coming because of the procurement process, go and review it. Maintain the integrity of baseline, maintain configuration and plan documents, controlling the effects on the changes of all fronts: cost, schedule, scope and risk, controlling project quality standards and validating defects repair. The tool will guide the project manager, the project team, the project management team, the stakeholder through the process of approving and declining changes. Very important process. Very important that you have this in place. Very important that you are at top of it. Very important that you understand the nature of the changes. Very important that you can positively and constructively influence the change request. Very important that you read between the lines. Very important that you do not think that it is a bad process. Thank you.